As more and more companies are doing business across country lines, whether it's having a satellite office in another country or two or three, whether it's that they have vendors or suppliers in other countries or customers in other countries, it's an interesting question to ask: are generations globally relevant? And how do you take the information that is readily available about generations in the United States and apply it to another country? Is it relevant? Is it applicable? So unfortunately, this answer is not cut and dry. And I'm going to address this through looking at 4 different things, which is the cyclical nature of generations, birth years and how they do and don't translate, the economic conditions of a country, and the cultural environment. So real quick, just to the cycles and the cyclicality of it, the phenomena, the cyclical, archetypal, predictive phenomena to generations is the same. 2,000 years ago in the Middle East, today in the United States, maybe 40 years hence in Peru, I don't know, wherever. I mean, the phenomena of generations and the cycle of the archetypes, that phenomena is a human backdrop story. That's part of the human experience, whether people are conscious of it or not. How often and intensely it expresses varies from country to country, with the United States being the mega expression of generations, at least at this moment in time in the last couple hundred years. Okay, so in terms of birth years, you got to be really careful with this one. So if, for example, we know that millennials are born 1982 to 2004 in the United States and in Canada, because the United States and Canada sync, you can't take those years and just transfer them onto another country and call somebody born in 1985 a millennial just because it's the same years in the United States. That does not work at all. Now, things are syncing up more across countries, but generations worldviews are formed during their childhood years. Their childhood years are connected to the economic conditions and the outer world events that are happening during their childhood years. So while this is, probably not everyone's cup of tea, basically what you're looking at with economic conditions is that how well synced a country's post-World War II economic recovery is to the United States' economic recovery makes the birth years more similar. So if, for example, there's a country in Europe that had its economic recovery start about 5 years after the United States does, then you would take the United States years of a generation and you'd tack on about 5 years. And then you're going to get a pretty decent understanding of what those generational years are. And then the final thing, which is cultural considerations and the cultural environment. And what I mean by this is that there are specific circumstances that create very fertile environments for generations to express. And the United States is very, very, very ripe with these conditions. So the conditions are that the youth, the coming of age youth, are allowed choice and personal expression and self-determination in terms of marriage, dating and marriage, in terms of careers and interest, hobbies and things like that, and in terms of taste and dress, music, personal expression, self-expression. And then there's another factor, which is that the youth have to feel that there is a future for them that they can carve out. So if you have a country that has a lot of upward mobility, where people feel that they can make their way and build their own business or find their own way or work hard, and then you have more generational expression. If there's more like you can't go beyond a certain level no matter what kind of thing, you don't have the generational engine doesn't work as strongly in those circumstances. So that is it. You're looking at, so just as a real quick recap, the cycle is the same. The archetypal cycle is the same, past, present, future, throughout time. The birth years do not translate across countries, although the United States and Canada are like this. The economic conditions vis-a-vis World War II, the economic recovery, and then the cultural environment of how much expression and choice and freedom the youth of that country feel. those are the things that impact how generations express and how they're relevant globally. And again, if anyone knows of any definitive list of generations across different countries, I'd be delighted to hear of it because I haven't seen anything. All right, that's it. Have a great day.